Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video, and a deck that came into US Nationals out of nowhere was Wailord EX, and I heard a lot of discussion about it. I didn't see any deck lists on Wailord EX, but I thought this was such a, this is a great idea, and it came out of nowhere. No one expected Wailord to show up. A couple of guys came in, and they said, hey, we're going to play a Wailord deck, and it was just really entertaining. Since Lysian's Trump card is no longer playable, it is banned from PTCG competitive play. Wailord EX can easily be just a big wall, a big sponge that takes on a bunch of attacks, a bunch of hits, and decks your opponent out. That's a really strange strategy, but it takes up a lot of time, and all you do is just draw one card, pass the turn. And you just let Wailord take hits, and then eventually max potion everything off, right? So let's get to it. This is the strategy. Wailord, the 250 behemoth of a water-type Pokemon here. We are weak to grass, so you got to watch out for that. Water Veil, whenever, we don't really care actually, you know what, we don't even care about any of these. We don't play any energies whatsoever, and no energies, just 4 quad Wailords, that's it, and a bunch of item cards, tool cards, supporters, and stadiums. That's it. Alright, let's go ahead. Can't say much more about Wailord EX. It's just a huge Pokemon. Big sponge, takes hits, who cares for the retreat, it's just going to sit out there anyways. And so that's it. Let's take a look at the item cards and whatnot. We have 4 crushing hammers to slow down our opponent. We have dive balls, 3 of these to get the Wailords out. Of course, we have to at least have 1, so we only need 3 more to get the other 3 that's in that deck, likely. And with only 4, our opponent's going to end up mulligan, or we're going to mulligan a number of times, and our opponent's going to be drawing a lot of cards. So it's going to help in our favor. Dowsing Machine, 4, 1 of these, that's going to be the ace effective choice, being able to get back any of the item cards and tool cards and whatnot. Basically, this Dowsing Machine can get us anything except for the Wailords. So if your opponent knocks out 3 Wailords, it's going to be GG anyways. And we're going to have the Enhanced Hammer, 2 of these to discard special energy cards. We have the Hypnotoxic Laser, 4 of these, 4 max potions to heal everything off. If we have a beat up Wailord with 240 damage on it, bam, max potion, everything is clean, swiped, and ready to go. And then we have 1 Star on the Megaphone, a Super Scoop Up, 4 of these, 3 switches, Trick Shovel to deck our opponent out a little bit more. And then we have the VS Seeker, 4 of these. Got AZ here in case we run into Seismitoad. There's no way to use the max potions. We actually use AZ. We can scoop up our Wailord and then play him back down. Got Cassius as well, similar effect, but we shuffle him into our deck. And Lysander, and then 3 Ends. Ends a really good scenario where if they can never get a prize, and let's say they only have 3 cards, you can actually end your opponent and give them more cards. And so that actually works out in our favor. Pokemon Center Lady, heal 60 damage. Team Flare Grunt, discard a card. Zero Sick, discard a card as well. Rough Seas, this is going to be a big help here, healing 30 damage every time it's on our turn. We can heal 30 damage. Got the Hard Charm here, reducing damage as well. Headringer to trouble our opponent's EXs a little bit more as well. And that's it for the deck. Let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. I'm excited to play this Wailord EX deck. This is kind of a silly deck, and it's going to be a fun deck. Alright, and we're going to be playing against Seadog21. It is a Metal, Psychic, Darkness, and something Rattler deck. And gotta wait and see if we can go first. If not, that's okay too. Ideally, with this kind of deck, we wouldn't mind going second, but going first is always preferred. And yes, we'll go first. So, alright, looks like we mulligan, and going first is a beneficial thing because our opponent won't be able to evolve first, and that's kind of advantageous in any kind of scenario. So let's take a look here. My opponent will be mulliganing again a number of times. We won't want to play an N. We do have the max potion. We have a Hypnotoxic Laser. We got a Headringer we can use if my opponent has any EX Pokemon. So Seadog21 here has yet to choose his active Pokemon. We have to wait and see if that's going to be an EX or not. And let's find out. It is an EX. We'll go ahead. We'll do this right here, and we'll play the Hypnotoxic Laser and put that Darkrai EX to sleep. Does wake up, but that's okay. And that's about it. We do have a Pokemon Center Lady. So that's kind of cool. If we see my opponent play lasers on his side of the field, we'll just use the Pokemon Center Lady, get rid of those lasers, special conditions, stuff like that. We have the max potion as well. With the Darkrai EX, there's no real way to accelerate them except using perhaps Togekiss or something like that. I don't know. But we saw an energy there. We see the Ultra Ball discarding 2 Darkness energies. That could go for an Eviltal EX. And we don't play any energies on our side of the field. Oh, it's a non-EX Eviltal. We see that one hit the field. We can see a switch and a energy drop. We can see an Oblivion Wing get an energy accelerated onto the Darkrai. We see the Escape Rope. So that's even better. No switches, but an Escape Rope works just the same. We see the energy drop on the Eviltal EX. That could get the energy again. Mentioned before. Here is an N. We do have another Headringer. That's kind of nice. We can play that on another Oh no, we see the Keldeo EX. We see a hypnotoxic laser. Good thing we have the Pokemon Center Lady. We're gonna get hit for a little bit, plus the poison damage, and we should be able to just heal everything off. And you know, no problem there, guys. All right, so you know, let's just go slow first. Let's go with that. We'll get rid of this right here. I'm going to play the head grenade right there. I'm going to counter this right here, and we'll get rid of that, and then we'll activate the stadium and end the turn. All right, so my opponent, if he can play another energy, will hit us for quite a bit. We can play the Pokemon Center Lady, get rid of the poison damage, and use the Rough Seas. And we even have an end to help my opponent out to draw in some more cards. Again, we do have the Enhance Hammer, which we can play to get rid of some DCE or something like that. I'm expecting to see perhaps an Yveltal EX. No, it's just another Yveltal right there. We see a Muscle Band. How we can get hit for sure for 50. We see another Muscle Band over here on the Yveltal. The Pikachu here evolves into the Raichu. Could see the Raichu hit us for a Circle Circuit at some point. And looks like a Jirachi right here for a supporter. So my opponent misses on the energy drop. I'm just going to go ahead and just heal it off right here. Alright, so let's just go ahead. We'll just heal some damage right there. I'm actually going to play an end. Let my opponent draw into some more cards. And perfect. We get more Wailords right here. And we have... this is great. All these Wailords. Now... let's see here. I could play the Hypnotoxic Laser, and I think I'm going to do that just for kicks and giggles, and we will end the turn. My opponent does wake up. I was hoping my opponent would stay asleep. That way we can buy another turn. But we have 3 max potions here, folks. 3. Oh, this is great. I mean, you know, we can just continue to use the Rough Seas every time my opponent hits us. Just Rough Seas again. The poison damage is going to add up a little bit over time. Good thing we don't have the Verbixity Gym in play. My opponent does have a full bench right now, so we shouldn't see an Yveltal EX at least. At least I don't think we will. And again, oh hey, there's a DCE right there, huh? Good thing we still have our Enhance Hammer, I think. We only used the Crushing Hammer so far. We get hit for 50. That's no big deal. My opponent will get an energy back, probably on the Keldeo, or actually on the other one. Okay, so... I could play N again, but you know, I'm just gonna end my turn, and this is looking pretty good for us, right? You know, my opponent can only hit us 50 at most. It doesn't look like my opponent's gonna be able to do much of anything else. We could see a switch into the Raichu, could see a DCE drop, and then the Raichu can hit us for 100 damage, plus the poison damage that'll be 110. We'll definitely survive the turn. I could play a max potion, and you know, we'll be looking pretty good. There is the Raichu. We should see that DCE right here, and there it is. The DCE comes into play, and again, we're looking pretty comfortable here. I can just max potion everything off. We do have a switch, so let's just go ahead. I'm going to switch into this Wailord, and we will just activate the stadium and put us back at 100 HP. My opponent might have a Lysander. So, I don't know. We'll take the chances there. I'm going to end the turn. My opponent has Lysander, then too bad for us. We lose a Wailord. We see a Verbixity Gym. We see a Hypnotoxic Laser. And, Alright, so we'll get hit for 100 damage. I'm reluctant to play. I might end up playing the Max Potion, you know, just to be safe. So, you know, or just play the Cassius right now. I think I'm going to do that. And... yeah, let's just do that. We'll play the Cassius, bring this guy out, and let's end the turn. Oh, man. Okay. All right. So it's a little bit risky. I should probably heal this Wailord EX here, but I really wish we can get another Rough Seas. All right. So we see here my opponent already has 1 Verbixity Gym in the discard pile. We only have 1 Rough Seas, and then he has 1 Verbixity Gym in play. Meaning if he plays 4 copies, he's only got 2 left in his deck, while we have 3 Rough Seas left in our deck. So we do have the upper hand here. Oh no! Here is the Wailord. I should have saw that coming, and there it is. It got knocked out. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go ahead, go for the Crushing Hammer here. We do flip heads, and let's go with that. And I'm going to end the turn. Alright, so we have 3 max potions. If my opponent has another DCE, should be able to hit us, and depends on how conservative I want to play. So we'll get hit for 100. My opponent plays a Colress for 5. Could see another laser. Hopefully not. That's already 2 lasers. And there we go. Get hit for 100. Now my opponent can still knock us out if he has a laser plus muscle band. That would actually be a knockout. But I don't know. Maybe I should take my chances here. Should I take my chances here? I'm going to take my chances. Let's just end the turn. If we lose, my opponent has a muscle band plus laser. it would be over. My opponent would be able to hit us for, what is that, 100 plus verbing. Oh, that's it. All right, so perfect. We definitely lucked out right there. And let's get rid of that. And, we'll play an N. We really need to get, let's just go with the trick shovel, go for my opponent's deck, and let's get rid of that. Get rid of that right there. And that's about it. We have ends again, but we'll end the turn there. So we really need to get more Wailords going. We should still have 2 more Wailords in the deck. This one I probably could have conserved, but I played a little risky there. And there it is. My opponent retreats. We see a Floatstone on the Jirachi. And my opponent goes for a Juniper. Again, we really need to see if we can get another Wailord going. We see a Hypnotoxic Laser. All right, so no big deal there. Might have to go for the Max Potion right now and be a little more conservative. The Raichu can actually come out and hit us for a ton of damage. So, actually, you know what? We'll just get rid of that. That's perfect. All right. Great. I'm feeling pretty good. In the next turn, we play... that was a great top deck there with the Pokemon Center Lady, and we're going to play the N in the next turn. So as long as we can preserve this Wailord EX, my opponent will be on his way to decking out, and that's kind of the hope and the dream. Again, my opponent will retreat into this Raichu here and hit us for a huge amount of damage, 120. That's no problem there. Let's just go ahead, look at my opponent's deck, and we'll get rid of that DCE, and let's just Max Potion everything off, and we'll play an N. So here it is. We do get the Wailords here. We get another Wailord, get both the Wailords out here, and this is looking pretty comfortable for us. We'll go with the Hypnotoxic Laser of our own. Let's go with this. Take a look at my opponent's deck, and get rid of the Colress. Oh, he says this is so annoying, and I'm going to end the turn. All right, so my opponent will need a retreat, that's for sure. And again, we still have our Dowsing Machine, I believe, so we can still get at least one of those Max Potions. We have 2 Max Potions left, and should be able to get at least one more if need be. Otherwise, we got a VS Seeker, which we can go ahead. I probably shouldn't have discarded that Colress. Probably should have left it for my opponent. That way my opponent would have been able to draw into some more cards, but that was my mistake. Either way, I discarded a card from his deck. So the Russian retreat, Raichu here. It's a bummer that Keldeo. Either way, the Raichu would have been able to just retreat anyways. But here we go. We get hit for 100 damage, and I'm just going to end the turn. So there it is. Right. So the VS Seeker, we can go ahead and play that for. We can actually play that for the Cassius, really. And we could actually play that for the whatchamacallit, the Team Flare Grunt as well. So a couple things we can do, right, for sure. Well, we'll end up discarding the Hard Charm if I use the AZ. And I mean, I wouldn't mind that either. And here it is. There is a energy drop on the Yveltal. So, thinking again, I probably should have gone with the Team Flare Grunt. Could have definitely gotten rid of, the energy right there. Let's go for the Super Scoop Up. And perfect. We flip heads, scoop this guy up. There we go. Put that right there. And let's go with the... Team Flare Grunt, and we'll just discard an energy and the turn, forcing the Raichu to retreat into the Yveltal EX, or the non-Yveltal EX, actually, and we'll see what we can do from there. So, again, the AZ can pick up this Wailord if we really need to, and my opponent is down to 11 cards. We are at 22, looking pretty good, and my opponent says, "This is so annoying. I must apologize." Apologize. Oh, no. He plays a Dowsing Machine. All 4 DCEs are in discard pile. Dowsing Machine can go for the Laser here, and the Laser can add some more damage to the Wailord EX. Now, again, we're just in top deck mode, but that's okay with me. We still need the energy right here. And we still have 3 of our stadiums yet to be drawn, so we can counter this Verving City Gym. Now, my opponent right here hits us for 30, because we have the Hard Charm. 1, 2, 3 lasers are in the discard pile, and that's it. So we have 2 AZs here. I'm just going to end the turn. My opponent can hit us for not enough to knock us out, right? So this Raichu can come into play, hit us for 120. But that wouldn't be able to knock us out. Even with 120 plus the poison damage, we would be at 10 HP left. So we would survive the turn. And we even have, that's assuming my opponent can discard the Hard Charm as well, right? So, yeah, I mean, we're looking good. We can just AZ up the Wailord EX and then bring out this other Wailord and be on our merry way. I mean, here comes the Raichu. would hit us, and there's the 100 damage. We'll survive the turn. And let's go for the super scoop up. We flip tails. That's okay. We'll scoop this guy up anyways. Here we go, and that's it. And so, oh man, oh darn, the super scoop up didn't work for us. I really wish it did. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have any more lasers. Those lasers can get rather annoying. But all right, so the Wailord here, definitely, worth it right now. I mean, the Raichu would be able to hit us for again 120. But even hitting us twice, he would still need the laser to do the job, right? So the laser here, 3 of them are in the discard pile. My opponent would need a laser and then hit us twice with, so gotta wait and see. We do have the max potion here. I'm not going to take any chances. I'm just going to AZ and not take any chances. All right, we're not going to mess around. We're not going to play it around. I could have definitely taken another hit, but if my opponent has the laser in hand, was able to top deck that, that would have been a knockout on the Wailord. We get end into a really good hand right here. We have a enhanced hammer that's useless. We get hit for 140. Let's get rid of the startling megaphone, and we'll just go with this right here. All right, we still don't have the stadium. The stadium would be really beneficial right now. That would be really sad if out of the 4, 3 of them are prized. That would have been really sad. But I would assume they're in the deck still, at least one more. We get hit for 100. But, that's okay. We got to wait and see if my opponent has the Lysander. I was planning to switch, but let's go with that, and we'll just end the turn. All right, so my opponent's down to 8. We'll get hit again, and I'll take 2 more hits, and then we should be good. We really need to get that that stadium. We got 2 max potions here. I'm just gonna pass the turn. We'll get hit again. Even with my opponent would need the muscle band and a hypnotoxic laser, but 3 muscle bands are in the discard pile. Who knows? My opponent plays a 4th one, and that's it. Let's just go ahead. We'll just do this right here, and we'll even play the rough seas for now. And I'm gonna end the turn. So my opponent's at 6. We're at 11. And we gotta wait and see if we can outlast my opponent. My opponent counters the stadium right away, but there's no lasers that come onto play. We see an Evil over there, fully powered up, and that's about it. So, let's go ahead. We're gonna discard these right here. What I'm gonna do is, I could probably grab the rough seas. But knowing that there's already a rough seas in the deck still, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this. We'll just letting my opponent know, hey, I got another one. No problem. Don't worry, buddy. I got another max potion here. You want to hit me again, I'll just heal him off. Oh, man, that's just mean. Okay. So he can definitely hit us again. We should survive the turn. He would need a muscle band and a laser, but that doesn't happen. And let's go with this. Let's go with this right here. We flip heads. Force my opponent to do that. And we'll end the turn. So we're at 9. My opponent's at 4. And there's really no way out of this, and I think my opponent knows it himself that it's going to be GG. And so C-Dog21, we see an energy drop right here. We're going to get hit for another. And my opponent plays an N. We're at 6, and he's at 5. So at some point, we got to just stop playing cards as well before we catch up. So I'm just going to end the turn. He's going to hit us again. And, that Keldeo can rush and retreat, so there's no use. No use playing the Lysander, so let's just go ahead. We'll just heal that off, and we'll end the turn. And there we go. My opponent is at 3, and we are at 4. So his ends could actually win the game for him. But there's already all 4 ends in the discard pile. So this is now a race on who decks out first. And it's actually getting pretty close. All right, a little bit too funny here. I think I used a lot of the cards I probably didn't need to use. But, we're playing for fun here. And there it is. We get hit for 100. And I'm just going to pass the turn. That's it. We'll just pass the turn. We do have a hard charm, but I'm just going to keep it there. It looks to me like, we're just slowly but surely. All right, so let's see if we can get this super scoop up here. And no, we don't. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. We'll just grab the caches here, so we can shuffle. We can shuffle this guy back into our deck, and kind of go with that. And so we'll end the turn. And this, Oh man, again, we could just play Cassius again and shuffle the Wailord. My opponent's at 1 card, and that's it. So here we go. My opponent's down to his last card. We'll get hit again, and all we need to do is just pass the turn. And oh my goodness, that was so long. I'm gonna say GG. I can't even say GG. Oh, there we go. Oh man, look at this. No MVPs. We healed 1,180 damage. My opponent hit us we took 2,420 damage. Wow, we definitely took a lot of hits. Surprisingly, we drew more cards than my opponent. I drew 92 cards. My opponent only drew 86. Oh, I mean, I guess so, right? Well, hey, this is how you win, right? With Tank Wailord, you just kind of see if you can outlast your opponent. And I actually did a really bad job playing this because we're actually all the way down to 1. But what matters is we got the win, and so that was really exciting. And definitely, if I was to redo this too, a lot of the cards I played, I probably didn't need to. And earlier we lost that Wailord. I probably could have preserved it by playing another Max Potion on that, since my opponent had the Lysander. But otherwise, like, this is really just a tank Wailord deck, just taking on a ton of damage and trying to deck your opponent out. So what a strange win condition, and we definitely took a long time now. 16 total minutes of play. And my opponent took 10 minutes, 20 seconds. Anyways, that's it for the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, if you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And you are a returning subscriber. Thanks so much for supporting the channel, being along with me on this epic journey. And you know what? That's it for the video. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.